Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Tanya, SideGigCrafts. You guys, I need a break from making cards for a minute. So I thought let's get out our seashore book and work on this. Now I found some things sitting over here on the side of my desk that are perfect for this. You know, sometimes those things, those inspirations and opportunities come to you whether you realize it or not. And these were sitting there. These are leftover from a project I did a while back, and I didn't end up using them. These papers are really cool textured, and they're different, and I don't know what they're made out of, but each one is different than the other, and you can see the fibers through them. You can feel it. Some of them are a little more linen, some of them are a little more cottony. I'm sure they're recycled papers. These were all from packets from the Dollar Tree, and they were just this size, and so I used some old fabric to glue them together so that I could actually use them and bind them into a journal, but I didn't end up using them in that journal. So they happen to be, oops, excuse me for those, the perfect size for this one. They're gonna stick out just a little bit, but I'm good with that because look how pretty that is. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to use these in here, and let's find some pages for this. Now I do have some pieces of pockets and things that I've already made for this journal. That's what was falling out, and we'll look through those in a bit, but we'll be doing some decorating with those. I also have this pocket that I had made using that same fabric. So this is going to be a flip in there somewhere. I think somebody gifted me this envelope, and I wanted to reuse it. And I think this would be perfect in here. We'll put some little treasures in there, and yeah, I think this will be great. And it says especially for you. I don't remember if they put that on there or if I put that on there, but I think it's going to work well in this scenario. So I do have this book, and we're going to use some book pages out of here. They're almost the perfect size. They're a little bit smaller, and that's okay too, because I can always use these to glue pages onto. And, you know, for different, I don't like all my pages the same size anyway, so that'll work out. So we're going to use some of these pages. I don't know if there's any pictures or anything. I think this is just words. And it's a Christian book, so I'm not worried about, you know, ugly words or anything like that. But let's use some of these pages that have blanks on one side too, because it's always good to have some of that. We'll use this one because I can cover that up. And here's another one with a light on the other side. They won't all be made out of these pages, but oh, here's one. Why not use what we can? And then the pages that if I glue pictures onto them, I can make those pictures bigger, or those pieces of paper bigger, if I need that space. Let's see if we've got more of those. We do. There's 2 in a row. I have been working to use this book, so this will actually help me get this one out of my stash as well. I used the cover to make a journal, so that's why it doesn't have a cover anymore. I don't remember which journal I made with it, but I did. The seashore one, this one is a mac and cheese box, so hey, whatever works, right? We use what we have. You don't have to spend crazy money to have a fun crafting hobby. You can make some fun things even without all that. Lost Hiker Story, page 43. Huh. Alright. So we've got some blank pages on this one, so, well, we might use a lot of these pages. Good enough. Alright, let's fold these up. I actually have a stack, excuse me, of more of these pages down by my feet, where I keep the book. I keep the book down by my feet because that way, if I need book page while I'm working, I don't have to go looking for it. And it's underneath the desk, so it's not in the way. And Memory of My Parents. This isn't a particularly old book. We can even put some of these pages, actually, let's see. No, the width of them is really good, so I don't really want to mess with that too much. We'll just fold them all in half, it's fine. There we go. Hope you guys are all doing great today. I've got a lot going on. Been making a lot of cards. I've been getting ahead on videos and trying to, you know, just, if I feel like if I get ahead on my card videos and make cards every day, show you guys different cards, then I can focus a little bit more on the other things like journals and Timu and all that stuff too. Because it's like if you've got all your stuff out for cards one day, it's hard to put that all away in the same day and make another video with some other topic and then come back to it again. So if I do several card videos in a day, then that's done. I can set that stuff aside and do other things. So that works out well for me. Wish I could say I've read this book. Looks like it might have been a good one. Somebody's got notes all over it, which is kind of cool. Feeling no pain, feeling no joy. Well, there's truth in that. I'll probably be covering that up. So these might actually be the most of my pages, which is fine. But as I'm looking at it, this is going to fill it up pretty well. But a lot of these are blank, so that's awesome. We can just kind of make it artsy, right? I'll put some of those torn edges up the top, some of them at the bottom. And then we'll mix the those other pages into it. I'm just kind of going every other one. I figure that's easiest. At least I think I am. I might have missed a page or two. You guys doing great? I hope so. It's a sunny day. Well, no, I guess it's overcast here. I think there were still some warnings for weather today here. We've had some crazy weather this last week. Alright, let's see what we've got. I think I like this actually for the cover, for the front. It's got this really fun cotton, and it's just very clean. Let's go every two and see what we can do. Actually, I'm going to mix that up. Let's put that one there. Put a few more of those in. Put that one back in. And put one of these in. They're kind of opposite, so that way we'll get a really good mix, and maybe it won't be noticed too much. Probably have to add 3 in there, because now I've got these left. And I may need to do 2 signatures actually, which doesn't hurt my feelings either. Let's see what we've got. These are all shoved in tight. No, actually I really like that, and I think I like the one signature. Maybe, maybe not. Should I just do one? I feel like that might be hard to work with if it's just one. Let's do two. Let's just kind of split this in half. Let's see what we can do. How many pages is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least we've got, that's pretty close, 10. That might be easier to work with. Yeah, that's better. That'll lay better in the book that way. Yep. I like it. I love it. You guys, let's go ahead and bind this. Let's not waste any time. Let's just bind it and be done. Should I bind this in there? Maybe I need to just bind that in. We could put that like right here. Maybe. Should I put it at the front? And that way it'll already be sewn in. I think that's great. Okay, let's do that. We're just going to commit to it. We're making things happen today. We're committing to things. Yep. All right. Need a little sip. You know, I could potentially glue this one on the other side once it's in there. And that would be awesome. I'm not going to glue it now because then it'll be wet when I'm working with it, but we'll glue it in there once it's inside. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler for once because I never do. This might be a really good time to use it. I mean, I could eyeball, I guess, but you know, why not? Centering hole. I don't know how to use it. Let's be honest. Let's just eyeball. I know. We're just gonna eyeball. But if I put all of these back together, I only have to measure it. I only have to do it once. How am I going to mark this? So, that's my bookmark right now. I'll just put these all together. Make the holes all at the same time. And I'm careful to do so. Oh, let's go all the way through as far as we can. I do have a piercing mat somewhere, but you know, not on me. Go here. That fabric is making it really tough. But the needle's going to go through just fine. And then right up here. All right, now pull that out. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mark my book. Okay. I'm going to scooch this over a little bit further and mark again. That ink is sitting on top of the paper. It's just going to smear, darn it. I'm going to mark it right there, right there, right there. It's going to be pretty close. Might be a little crooked. That's okay. So, buckle right there. And right there. I'm just making guiding holes to guide that needle through. And because that ink is sitting right on top of that paper, some of it did soak in. That's okay too. Okay. This is not a tutorial. This is not. This is not. Okay, that's my spot. That's that. That's that. Now, I don't have anything decorative on either of these, making them individually, you know, better in the front or the back. So we're just going to go for it. And what color thread? Do I want this color thread? I really like that color thread. I have a dark brown. I don't. I have black. I have this one. Ooh, I like that. Let's use this one. I don't know if I use this one enough. This and get out that needle. Ooh, I gotta put the little envelope back in there so that I can sew him in. I'm gonna get my thinnest needle because it will not stretch out those holes any further, and that's the way I like it. Okay, let's stick this guy back in there. Right here. My holes are still lined up because I did move that around. Now this one doesn't have a hole, so we'll just poke right through there. And we'll go out this way. I love this, just making decisions, committing and making a decision. And, you know, by doing that, I'm going to get this off my desk. It'll be easier to not knock over all the time. It'll be great. Now, I wasn't too worried about this catching or not catching in the holes because it's going to have that piece on the other side. However, as it turns out, right here at the edge, it does catch that hole, so that'll be perfect. Right through there. I believe that will go all the way through. I might have to work with it just a little, just to make sure it does go through. Yeah, I've moved this around a bit, so we'll just play and get it to go back in there. Darn. It's okay. That's going to go there. I feel like I let go of the needles somehow. Get back up there. Okay, there we go. Now I feel like I've got more control of it. A little bit. This would have been easier if I clamped it. Oh no. You know, I totally missed something here. A whole page. I'll put it in the other one. I will put it in the other signature. We won't miss it at all. Had I clamped that together, or at least paper clipped it, that would have been much easier. Okay, but now, once this is tight and pulled taut, that will help hold it in place. We'll skip all the way down here to the bottom hole, and hopefully that will line up better. It did, of course. spine. Where's that hole? There it is. I see the pink. Oh, the pink was actually a good idea. That helps me see it. And then back up through the middle. Oh, shoot. I don't know why I'm struggling today. I may end up punching a separate hole by accident, but ooh, yeah, a little bit. That's okay. It won't hurt it. Okay. We do need to catch that thread though. Come on. I should have made that hole just a little bit bigger. Go back on that side. Alright, we need to pull this tight as we can without tearing the pages, and then we'll go ahead and tie it off. I'm going to leave ends on this one so that we can put dangles on there. Or charms. I think I have some beachy charms that would be fun to add in. So I'll leave that kind of long, or maybe some glass beads or something. I don't know yet. So we'll leave that long for now. There's one. Let's do it again. See, this is that page where I'll put this one on there, which is great because it'll be the middle of the signature. Yeah, that'll be cute. Although, it's going to be, I think it'll be fine. I'll just glue it onto the edge probably. Or maybe I should just sew it. I won't be able to get it to the sewing machine. I'll have to glue it. Or sew another piece on there and glue that to... Anyway, let's get the other signature in here and stop worrying. Alright, since we have this extra one from the other signature, we'll put it in the middle. It's not going to have holes in it. So I'm not going to put it in the middle. We're going to put it here instead. Then I don't have to worry about the holes. I've already... Oh, and I moved those holes. That's a problem. Because now it's not lined up with the others. But that's okay. That should be right about there. Alright, another piece of thread. There it is. Put that back in there so I don't lose it again. Alright, now let's go back down through the middle of this one. I'm going to take a second, try to line this up before I go back into the book, actually. And I'm probably off center, but you guys know what I'm doing. Just lining up the little holes. I need a thimble. Not lined up perfectly, but you know what? It's okay. It's not going to even show. The idea really is to get these holes going so that you can get through there easier. Come up through there. Pull that back into my book. These things are trying to get away from me today. They really are. Come on. There. Go through this side. Sort of poked and then it didn't. Alright, sorry if I'm getting quiet. I'm like concentrating. I'm trying so hard to get this through there. Alright, and then we'll go back through this side. Come on. I need my pliers. Didn't make that hole big enough. There we go. For real, this stuff is fighting me today. Okay. This isn't a hard task. It can be a little scary committing though. When you get to this point, it's like it can be a little intimidating sometimes because, you know, it's hard to go back. It's hard to go backwards and do it different. Once you've sewn that in there, you're kind of committed unless you want to tear it all apart. Now, don't get me wrong, I have torn my books apart because sometimes you end up doing things you didn't mean to, or, you know, sometimes you can't get away from it. But it is definitely, can be a little bit intimidating. Oops, now I just did what I don't want to do. You don't want to stab that string as you go through because then you won't be able to tighten it. Using my glass mount to help me push that needle. I have my pliers right here. I wish I'd realized that. Oh, so much easier. Those are usually in my beading stuff. I don't usually have them on my desk. Put the needle away before I stab myself. Let's tighten these. You could tie a bow there if you wanted to. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Those are extras. And we have bound our book. So we've got these down here below. We'll work with those another time and see what we want to do. I'm going to put this pen away. I'm going to put my binding things away. So once again, I don't hurt myself or lose them. This actually belong right there. Okay, now what do we have? We have a bound book. So I wanted to put, I didn't sew it in. I didn't. Good. This right here. Now this, if I can show you, is a pocket on this side that goes all the way to the edge. So that's why I'm kind of looking at it thinking, But I will lose part of that pocket if I glue that down. But I think I'm okay with that. So what I think I'm going to do, oh, my Krabby's right there too. You know what? I'm sorry, Krabby. I'm going to lose my Krabby too, but that's all right. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to leave a little bit of space on there so that it can fold comfortably. How am I going to get it to stay on there though? If I use hot glue, it's going to have bumps in it. That's not going to work. I think this is my only real option. I don't think the tape will hold. So if I sit here for a minute and just hold this down, I think we'll be okay. So, what should we talk about? While I hold this down, huh? I can't put a clamp on it. There's no way to clamp it. I might need to put a ribbon over it because it's probably going to show the glue. But that's all right too.
Nora said happy belated birthday.
Hi, thank you. I don't know her, do I?
It's my boss.
Ask her why she didn't hire me.
You probably would have been over her.
Probably. But she could have hired me, right? I had applied to the same company that my kids work for a different position, for a like a managerial position, but they didn't. I never even really got a call back. And I asked them both about it. I'm like, why didn't they even? And they're like, you're overqualified. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I get that.
Apparently, I took some of the most calls in general last week.
Good job. That's awesome. Good for you. Really. It's amazing. All right, maybe we could put this on here. That would help hold it on. That's what we'll do. That will help hold it on. I'm gonna go ahead and distress it though. We'll use the other end somewhere else in the book. Probably don't really need to do this, but I think it'll add. I don't like the color. I think it's not showing. I want it to show. There we go. That's a little better. Right, because when we catch fish, we want to know how long they are. And there we go. Let's go ahead and glue that down. Yeah, I think I like that. That adds a little something. Kind of hides my crabby too. Maybe I'll put another little crab right there just to bring him back. I don't know. Or see if I can lift him out of there so he's not noticeable. I'm going to end up ruining it. Let's see if I have my scissors. I can just kind of trim that. There. There. Alright, that looks great. I'll trim that little piece right there. And we've got a little pocket that's kind of stuck in there. Alright, that's pretty basic. Got some fun stuff going on. This will be fun to work with for sure. All these blank pages. Yes. And I think I'd like to put some kind of a plate or something in there. I'm sure I must have something. Do I? I don't know if I do. We could use let's stick this way. Is this one of my deep pockets? It is. We can put that one there. We're just going to load this thing up. We can put one of these pockets. We can just go ahead and put one of these pockets in here. Actually, I think this one was going to be a clip-on one because you can journal in the back. This one has design on it. So this is one I wanted to glue down. We could potentially put it right there. That's beautiful. Okay, we're committing. We are committing. That's what I made these things for. Gorgeous. to hold it down on this fabric part a little bit longer. See if I do it this way, that might sit better. I love this journal already. It's already my favorite. I don't know. So dang cute. Okay. Look, it's already a chunky monkey. It's already. Alright, so we've got that when we open it up. It looks like somebody just crammed it full of goodies. I like to keep them even, so I try to put, if I decorate that first page, I try to do the second one, or the page of the next section. Should we put this one here? You see, I like to clip these in. I would like to clip these in because I don't want to lose that. I'm going to clip that one in too. See, this would have been a good one for that flip as well. Could have gone there too. But that's okay. What can we do with this one? That one has that tag in it. Let me just put this one on this one. I'll need to clip it though. And then for these envelopes, I'm going to need definitely going to need some paper clips that are going to work. This one needs to be tucked in somewhere because it's got this little clasp. So it's either going to have to be clipped or tucked. So you guys, we're up to a really good start. I think that's it for this one for today. I have some paper clips to find. I have some pages to decorate. I've got all these papers I can use, so I'm not worried about finding papers for it. So we've got all this gorgeousness, and I'm excited. I'm excited. This one is coming along so well, and I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me today. I also have this ribbon that I found that will be fun to use in here. I think it probably just to be to tie it shut. I think that's what this one's going to be for. So I've got all kinds of fun ideas for this one. I hope you'll stick around, check it out. Thank you guys again for all your love and support. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.